Hey everybody, it's me, Tanisha O, and welcome to Tea with Tanisha O. So guess what? We got a special guest in the building. Danielle is here.
Hey.
Hey guys, so today we are going to talk about boundaries and how stepmothers overstep their boundaries and how biological mothers may overstep their boundaries. How can we get through these things? So let's get into this, Danielle. How can a stepmother be involved without the biological mother feeling uncomfortable?
Communication.
Okay. How so?
I guess talk about an idea that you have for the child, and if you're not on the same page with the idea, try to get on the same page, or that's it. Just try to get on the same page.
Okay.
Whatever works for the son.
Okay. So what if one of the two or both aren't interested in communicating?
I don't know. Something has to give. You have to communicate. Something. Write a letter. I don't know.
Oh, a letter is good. Sometimes you can express yourself.
Write a letter.
That's a good point. I know one of the things that I was recently saying is I said, so many times when people talk about the problems that they have, it's always like my situation with my blended family isn't working because, and then anytime they end the sentence, it's always somebody else's name. It's never their own name that comes. You know what I mean? So how is it that we can fix anything if we're always blaming? Like I'm always talking about, the blame. So if the two parties aren't willing to communicate, basically what you're saying is it's just never going to work.
It will work, just probably not at that particular time.
Okay.
But eventually it will work.
You think so? What shifts? If you had to say one or two or three things to make it work, or for it to get to a place to work, what would you say?
It's not about you, it's about the child.
That's a great point. What else would you tell them? Even on that point, it's not about you, it's about the child. What about the person who is saying the child doesn't want to be bothered with the stepmom or the dad? We've heard that. We went through that ourselves.
That all comes from the parents and how they feel about the stepmom or the dad. Kids only react to what they see and what they hear.
I love that. That's so true. So at that point, we have to be accountable for what we're saying and doing, right? I agree with that. So do you expect Ihani to do things for you outside of Ike? Like change a tire. If something goes wrong, he's supposed to show up.
No.
What do you say to those people? Because, so frequently we hear these things. That's my child's father. He needs to come and pick me up or pick us up or always be there for us.
No. That's just so funny to me. No. I don't know. It'd be something different if I was here.
Right. You were at the house.
At the house, and I walked outside and have a flat tire. And then again, I probably still wouldn't ask. I know how to change the tire myself. So I probably
I love that.
Ask.
Yes.
But if I had to, it would be that. If I was in a car accident and our son was in the car, yes. I would call, hey, he was in an accident. Everybody's okay.
Right.
That's it. But just me on my own, no.
Yeah, I feel, and you and I have talked about this, I feel like a woman who is trying to flex her weight that way, she's just trying to say, I got him. I'm the most important. Yes. I'm the most important woman. Exactly. And that's a different issue. It has nothing to do with the kids. That's about our own personal egos, right? Yeah, I agree with you on that one. So how did you feel when Ihani set boundaries and refused to communicate with you directly? That's like a big one. Like if you could really think of the true emotion core when he sent that text message to say, hey, moving forward, this is what we're doing.
I was hurt in the beginning, but I got over it. Life goes on.
Yeah. I wish in the moment it happened that easily where you were like, because I'm telling you, you were fighting. You were like, no, I'm not talking to this wife of yours. I don't care about this wife of yours. And he was like, if you want to know what's going on with Ike, like how did that, because that was not an easy transition at all.
But again, that was other people putting things in my head. You shouldn't talk to her. She's not, you didn't lay down with her. She's not, who is she? She's nobody.
Right.
So that was me letting them get into my head.
Right. What do you think caused the shift in that, for us to get to where we are today?
Well, if I didn't talk to you, I wouldn't know the thing that's going on with him.
Yeah.
He's not going to always tell me. I don't know the questions to ask.
Yeah.
For him to tell me anything.
Do you feel like during that time I was trying to, I know you already felt that maybe I was overstepping my boundaries by being placed in that role, but of course our thoughts were only to impact our own house, to create the harmony within our home. And there was just too much friction between you and Ihani when you guys communicated and always argued. Would you agree with that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was always an argument. And so do you feel that me being in that role, that I was kind of not giving you the information you needed, in order to support Ike, or I kept it away from you? Or how do you feel I handled that responsibility?
You were giving me the information just in a text, a long text. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, I'm not a phone person. A lot of people say, what? I'm just not. If you send me more than a paragraph, I'm not going to read it. That right then and there. I'll just skim through it. Mm-hmm. And I just answer the questions that I just feel I need to answer.
Right.
So I'm not ignoring the whole text. I'm just answering bits and pieces of it. But I'm just not a phone person.
Which is okay. Except for, like, in my case, I was given important details for Ike. Mm-hmm. And I needed to document the information. That's why the text messages came, to make sure that there was, like, written documentation. Mm-hmm. There was a lot happening in that time and all of that stuff. And I know I can get long-winded, and you would respond, okay. I don't even know what okay meant half the time. But I understand, like, the difficulty with this woman that you did not invite into your life, but now she's here trying to share something. What would you say or explain to anyone else who is in that place where the communication is not working between them and the biological father? That is clear. They constantly fight. Something different needs to be done. What would your advice be to them in order to move past it and get to the next level?
Again, like I said before, it's not about us. It's about the child.
Right.
And once you get past that, you'll see things a lot easier.
Yeah, I agree. It is. Mm-hmm. For us, do you... Now, in hindsight, looking back, are you happy that that decision was made? I'm not saying in that moment, the communication in that moment, but are you happy now that that decision was made?
Yeah.
I think you probably actually know more about what's happening with Ike, because I communicate a little more in depth than my husband does. He gives the basics, if that, and then, yeah. So I'm grateful that it happened, because although we were forced into this relationship with each other, it still grew. It allowed us both to grow and let Ike grow and all that good stuff. Right. Ike believes if we hadn't made that change, 6 years or so ago, that there would still be arguing and bickering. He does not believe that we would be in a place of harmony today if you were still communicating with Ihani directly. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
He's right.
You agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think ladies are doing a better job of working this thing out. Yeah. Well, you guys, is there anything you want to say extra beyond somebody that needs to put the child first? Is there any other thing for setting boundaries that you want to share with biological mothers?
No, I think it speaks for itself. You have to put the child first.
Yeah.
Put your feelings aside. Mm-hmm. It's lovely to have 3 parents. I mean, 2, okay, but if you have a 3rd one, that's okay.
Yeah. Especially when they genuinely love the child,
it's
right?
Extra love, more love.
Yeah. And I always share with our audience that how frequently I remind you how important you are. Mm-hmm. And I hope that transcends. Like I hope I've never come across as though, oh no, I'm in first place. No, I'm not. Mm-hmm. You're his mother. You gave birth to him. Your role is vital. I am here as an extra layer of love to him, not to replace you, just to add extra value. Yeah, you agree that I don't? Okay.
I agree.
Good. From our family to yours, we love you. Continue blending your love. Set boundaries, set things in place so that you guys can grow. And as Danielle said, it starts with you putting yourself to the side and putting that child first, because no matter what you think of their biological parent, they love their parents. Whether they're good, bad, or indifferent in your heart, no matter who they are in the world, children love their parents. So allow them to love freely. From our family to yours, we love you. Ciao.
Ciao.